Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today, Cameron and I are going to be changing a couple of frameless windows that got broke on an RV here. It's a big old fifth wheel. The customers ordered the windows and they've already taken the balances off inside, so we can't show you that. We got Cameron back after a lengthy vacation because of his leg. Yeah, he thought it'd be a good idea to break his leg, but I don't think it was a good idea at all.
I had to one-up Kenny falling off a ladder.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to watch that one-up and stuff, buddy. Because, I mean, where do we go from here? You know, what do I do?
I think the contest should be over. What do you guys think?
I mean, the only thing that will be left for me to do is like lose a head or something, you know? And so I don't know. We'll try to avoid that. But we're going to get started here real quick. Shouldn't take long. Like I say, because some of the hard parts already done, getting the balances off. We'll probably end up putting them back, but we'll see. So let's take you inside, and we're going to start taking screws off, and we'll go from there. The frameless window is a bit of a misnomer because it has a frame. You just can't see it from the outside because the window covers all the frame. So to do a few things a little bit different, which we'll go over while we're doing it. I just got about 1,000,000 screws. We'll change this window here first. I just got like 1,000,000 screws I got to get out of this one. So I'm going to get all them screws out and then we'll be right back. Actually, I don't know what I was thinking. Cameron's going to get all those screws out. Cameron got most of the screws out of the old one. Here's a new one. I'm going to clean the flange up with some rubbing alcohol so we can go ahead and get our gasket on here. There you go, do that to half. Got her cleaned up. This is a new seal. This is it's a high density foam that these frameless windows use because you can't use the traditional putty tape. A couple reasons. It is a frameless window, so there's really no frame showing outside, so it's really hard to do that. And if you have to get them out, you better hope it's got foam on it. So we're going to get started putting the foam on. We're going to start at the bottom. And we're just going to work this foam around here. It is self-adhesive.
Forget how well it goes around the corners.
Yep. Good to make sure it's stuck down. You can start pulling the paper off. All the foam seals on. We're gonna go outside. I don't know if you can see it, but this is why we're changing that window. The outer piece of glass broke. They got against something and tore up the frame and broke the glass out of it. Cameron got all but 2 screws out of this window, so I'm gonna go up here and hold this window while he gets those last 2 screws out. Okay, go ahead, Cam. Okay. You can go ahead and pull that clamp ring off. That way you'll know for sure you got all the screws too. Probably gonna have to get me a screwdriver. So it'll still be stuck a little bit. Even though it has foam on it, it's still stuck just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to get it started with a screwdriver. Watch your eyeballs, Kevin. Wow, she's really stuck over here somewhere. All right, let me come down a rung. 2, 1. Okay, that's good. You got it?
A little bit. This end.
All right. I'll tell you what, just help me on that end.
All right.
That's a pretty heavy window. Okay, I got it now. See them upper corners where the gasket just barely does hit?
Yep.
So we need to make sure that we get them upper corners covered. Take some Windex, clean up around this window hole a little bit. Get the dirt and stuff off. Let me see that Windex, man. I guess I'm gonna just have to take it up the ladder. Once I get ready to actually set it in the hole, you can definitely help me on the other side of the ladder. All right. Oh, that ain't gonna work. You're gonna have to go to the other side of the ladder. All right. Good. Now I'm gonna go up. Let me go up one more. Yeah.
That still looks pretty good.
Okay, go inside though and check it. I'll lean it out. Let you look at that seal. Think it's gonna be all right?
No, we need to put it.
Okay. Go ahead and get one of your shims in. We'll put the first one in towards the back. Towards the back. Towards the back.
Okay.
Here.
All right.
All right, now we can do the front one.
All right.
All right, so does that seal look better now?
A little bit, but it's still.
We can go frontwards or backwards probably a little bit too. How about the backside seal?
It's about the same on both sides. Let me flip the shimmer on
That much, huh? Okay. All right, which one first?
Let's try the front first.
All right, let me change hands here. All right, go ahead. All right, so the back.
All right.
That look better?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, go ahead and shoot a couple screws in. All right, so I know you couldn't see what we were doing there, but these windows have little plastic spacers around them to help you center them in the hole. Well, when we took the old window off, we noticed that it was a little bit low. Let me know when you're ready to shoot screws and where you're gonna put them. So, like I said, we noticed that the window actually set in the hole a little bit low, which made those upper corners, the gasket just barely did cover the hole. So we put some extra shims under the bottom of it to raise it up so that that gasket would cover well, more well than the last time with the old windows. So now Cameron's just getting ready to start shooting some screws back in that ring. Well, that job took a turn to the south. I've really debated whether to even finish this video. And I may start editing it and still decide not to post this video for public use. I will probably just keep this video for my personal use if I don't decide to make it public. Yeah, don't be that guy. Just please, don't be that guy. This job was weird before it ever started. I probably should have turned this job down 3 weeks ago. I'm not going to go into that, but I decided to try and help people out and switch out those 2 broken windows. I mean, as soon as we got on the job, Cameron and I were just making sure that the windows were intact and complete with the seals. They gave us plenty of seal to put on the windows, and make sure they were the right size and everything checked out. So we started changing them, and as soon as I started, he's like, well, they provided everything but screws. He said, you'll have to provide screws. I'm like, we'll just reuse the screws. No, you can't do that. They've already been stressed and you can't reuse them. I'm like, I've been reusing window screws for 25 years. I mean, yes, sometimes you'll find some that are broke. That's the ones that are overstressed. The ones that they broke at the factory when they installed it. Oh, no, no, I gotta have new screws. That's why I don't have, I don't know, what, 50 black screws. I think those window screws are typically, they're a little odd. They're like, what, 1.25 inch screw or something, number 8 screw. I didn't have that many black screws. You know, if I broke 3 or 4 of them, I could scrounge up a few, but I wasn't gonna try and scrounge up that many new screws. Well, he was just appalled, just completely appalled that I was going to try and reuse those screws, because he assured me that he was a screw expert and you could not reuse those screws because they had already been stressed to the max and his windows were just going to fall out. I'm like, well, you know, I don't know what to do here. I'm just going to carry on with the old screws. He said, well, I'm going to Lowe's and get some. I said, that's fine. And I said, but you're not going to find black number 2 square drive, number 8 1.25 inch screws at Lowe's. Well, I bet they got them. I said, well, partner, I've been doing this a long time. I wished I could buy square drive screws at Lowe's, because that would keep me from ordering them from somewhere in another state. He said, well, I'm going to go check. Of course, he come back without screws, but while he was gone, Cameron and I, we got the big window changed, and actually the battery died on the camera, and I don't remember now exactly where we stopped, just because the rest of the job was so chaotic. But we took our time and we centered that window in that hole so that it wouldn't leak. And then the customer came back, of course, with no screws, and so then we started on the little window, And the gentleman, he was one of those people that he's never gonna be happy. He acted like we had broke the windows, and then he wasn't gonna be happy no matter what we done to replace the windows. Well, we didn't break them. He broke them. And I mean, this is part of the reason I started not to even finish this video, because I hate to be negative, but I think it's important for everybody out there to know, don't be that guy. You know, he would make some off comment, and I would try to explain to him, you know, why we're doing this, and he would just walk away. He'd just stomp off. And then he'd come back and he would make some other snarky remark. And I was trying to explain to him, and he would walk off, and he just kept doing that. So it just kept working. Because at that point, I wasn't worried about firing the camera back up. I just wanted to get those windows installed, and I tried my best to do it properly, and I just wanted to get out of there. So, like I said, we got to the little window. And now when we took the broken little window out, let me show you on the whiteboard here what I'm talking about. So the black line represents the hole in the side of the room where the window goes. All right, when we took that little window out, these corners, and frameless windows are notorious for this, they cut the radiuses a little big. What happened was, when we found out when we took that little window out, that, you know, the sides, you know, the seal was way out on the room. Really nice, okay? All four sides had good seal contact for that foam seal, which I know that we did get some video of that. But what happens is, in the corners, it seems like it always runs real close, okay? All four corners on that little window, when we took the old window out, going by the witness marks that the foam seal leaves, it just barely covered all four corners by, you know, maybe like a 1/4 inch. So we got to the small window. Cameron was outside. He was standing on the steps of the RV, and I was inside on this one. And we were getting this window centered to make sure that we had good contact in all four corners with the seal. Well, you know, we were just trying to place the window, and the customer looks up here and he sees some sunlight coming through that corner. He's like, oh, that's gonna leak. I was like, well, no, hang on. I said, we're just trying to get the window centered in the hole so it won't leak. And I said, just bear with us. When we start tightening it up, the sunlight will go away. No, that's gonna leak. And that is not gonna work at all. So at this point, I'm really done. So I said, I'll tell you what. You put the window where you want it, and I'll shoot the screws in the clamp ring. So he actually goes outside, and he was awful close to knocking Cameron off the steps. Okay, just completely blindsided Cameron, and literally almost knocked him off the steps. Cameron told me later. Well, this customer, he pushes this window up in this hole as far as he can push it. Now, on each side, there's probably, I'd say, between a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 inch gap. So he pushed this window completely up in that hole and kind of askew. I think the left side was over this way too far. And I'm inside, and I say, is that where you want it? He said, that's where I want it. So I started shooting screws. I guarantee you that you could probably stick a paper clip or something in both these bottom corners, because there's a gap here. And I said, that's gonna leak. I said, there's gonna be gaps at the bottom. He said, well, water will run down before it will run up. I'll give him that, but I'm telling you, I have seen too many fiberglass campers delaminate around the windows because you got a leak down there in this corner. Because that rain is going to come down and it's going to go right in these corners and it's going to delaminate the fiberglass walls on that camper in the next few years. So, like I say, whether I decide to make this video public or not, I will still keep it in my archives. Because a couple years from now, when that guy calls me and says, you didn't do a good job installing that window, and now my room's all delaminated and I got a big bubble right here, then I'll just pull up that video, this video, and I will show the gentleman. And to be honest with you, would not surprise me at all if before the next week is over, he will have ordered all new screws and he will have taken those windows out and he will put them back, and he'll probably do the same thing on the big window, and he'll probably have leaks at the bottom of it as well. So yeah, just, yeah, at 1 in 100. Most of my customers are super nice, and you know, I look forward to working for them again. But so yeah, hopefully this thing makes it to the public, and hopefully you get some value out of it. And you know, I learn. I'm constantly learning, but I know how to install a window properly, and so it won't leak. And these frameless windows are especially, you know, important to center those in that hole so you don't have leaks. So what are you going to do? Customer's always right? We're going to cut this one off right here. And it's Sunday night, so I am not going to go down the road and fix another one. But I am going to try and have a fantastic night. And you guys and gals do the same. We'll see you next time.